Is Jason up to the task? A bunny who can slam dunk? And plastic surgery gone right? All this and more on today's How Did This Get Made? Last Looks. Hit the theme!
Last looks, hold up, we're not done. Gotta call Paul and see what is up. On the Discord, a message board while we get wrong. What's the movie next week? Maybe chat with Jason. Last looks.
Hello, all you bodybuilders with itty-bitty waists and big old booties. I am Paul Scheer, a.k.a. the third Paul brother, and welcome to How Did This Get Made? Last Looks, where you, the listener, get to voice your issues on Double Trouble, a movie that Discord user Graham S. thinks should have had the tagline, Double Trouble, they came to kick ass and wear crop tops, and they're down to one crop top. Oh man, I like when I read these and they make me laugh right out of the gate. Thank you, Graham S., for that alt tagline. Remember, if you have an alt movie tagline, a title, submit it to us on our Discord. We may just read it on the show. Now, coming up on today's episode, we got a big show. You're going to be hearing all your corrections and omissions on Double Trouble. I'll even share an exclusive deleted scene from our Double Trouble live show with Rory Scovel and Jessica St. Clair. Then Jason and I will chat with Kristen Schaal and Tony Hale, who have a brand new podcast called The Extraordinarians. And if you don't know Tony and Kristen, well, what are you doing? Tony Hale, Arrested Development, Kristen Schaal, Bob's Burgers. These are A-plus guests. I'm so excited to have them on the show. And lastly, as always, I will reveal the title for next week's episode. But before we get too far into all of that, I have to give a big shout out to Dan from Rochester for that opening song. Dan, you killed it. We love these songs. And if you have any Last Look episode themes, there is a brand new way to submit them. Go to hdtgm.com and click Submit a Song. That way you can upload your song right there on our homepage. You can also find that link in the show notes for this very episode. Remember, keep them short. 15 to 20 seconds is best. Okay. If you're listening to this on Friday, we are in Toronto tonight. That's right. We are in Toronto and we're so excited to be back. But if you're in Chicago this weekend, Dinosaur Improv with Jason, myself, Lennon Parham, Lisa Gilroy, and more are performing at the Den. Most shows are sold out. I think actually all the shows are sold out except for our matinee on Sunday. You can still get tickets for that. But if you're in LA, you can see Dinosaur on May 31st. And every week, the dark web is live. That's right. Rob Hubel and I watching the best of the worst online. And this upcoming Friday, the 23rd, we're doing a watch along of Sister Sensei, which is a movie made by the guy who made the video for Karate Rap. So if none of those words make sense, start watching the dark web. It is on YouTube. It's free every single Monday. Joyful Recollections of Trauma is out in paperback form. And what do you get with that? 20 extra pages. Plus, check this out. I updated my website. I did it all myself on Squarespace. I built a whole new section, a show and tell section. So if you read the book and you want to see videos and pictures, I have a giant UCB section. I have a video of me meeting Michael Landon. I have a picture of me kissing my mom on the mouth. There is so much there for you to check out. And I'm doing that just for fun. If you read the book, enjoy it. And it's a nice compliment to the paperback, which has brand new essays and stories in there as well. Jason is on Taskmaster right now. First 2 episodes are up and it is glorious. He is absolutely hilarious on the show. So check out Taskmaster. You can watch that on YouTube. You can also watch it on the Taskmaster app. Oh boy. People, that's all I got. So let's get into it. Last week, we talked at length about Double Trouble. Well, we had questions and we might have even missed a few things. Here is your chance to set us straight, fact check us, if you will. It is now time for corrections and omissions.
You never see the Barbarian Brothers in an Italian restaurant drinking cappuccino with June Diane Raphael.
Thank you, the Action Jackson 5, for that theme made just for this Double Trouble episode. That's what I love. The Action Jackson 5 knows how to do it. Okay? I love when they are themed to the actual movie. You guys kill it. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to the Discord. Heidi B. Vibrant Visionaries writes, the twins are fraternal, not identical. At a point, they both got plastic surgery to strengthen their jawlines and slim their noses. This may have made them look more similar. Heidi B., I'm digesting that as you're telling me this. What? Oh my God. Okay, wait. Now, she continues by saying an audience member mentioned The Bodyguard had a Vincent Vega look that Tarantino might have been inspired by. That character was played by Tito LaRiva, who appears in From Dusk Till Dawn with Tarantino and several more Robert Rodriguez films. Okay, well, great. I love that information, but you know what? You already blew my mind from the first thing. You can't top it. I mean, now everybody else who comes after you, it's going to be, honestly, it's going to be all downhill, I think. John Not Connor writes, Double Trouble may be one of the most popular titles for a movie in cinematic history. The first page of search results on IMDb lists 14 exact matches for Double Trouble, including an Elvis movie and a number of foreign films. Clearly, the rhyme transcends translation. In fact, there was a movie called Double Trouble released this year and every year going back to 2022. Curiously, June, none of these are Olsen twin movies. Wow. All right, but Scott does say Jason said he thought this was a Van Damme movie at first. He probably was confusing it with Double Impact. You know what? I confused that with that one too, where Van Damme plays twins, which is not to be confused with the Van Damme movie Double Team, which we already covered on How Did This Get Made? Wow. Van Damme loves the doubles. All right, let's go to the phones. Eric from Colorado. What do you got?
Hey, Paul. This is Eric. Just got back from your Denver show featuring Double Trouble. I just have a quick observation that I was surprised nobody brought up during the show. But I think there's a reason that Bob the Assassin seemed like such a wholesome, approachable ginger kid. Well, it's because he's the same actor that played Will Robinson in the original Lost in Space. I felt like every time he brutally killed someone, I just kind of chuckled and thought, what's this kid getting up to now? Anyway, I love the show. Hope you come back to Denver soon. Thanks, guys.
Oh, I love that. That's great. I don't really have a connection to that character. I understand that reference. JR from the Discord adds, Bill Mummy was also the kid that wished people into the cornfield on the original Twilight Zone. I love that. There he is. A very cute kid. All right, let's go to Liz from Denver.
Hi, Paul. It's Liz, the barbarian sister from the Denver live show about Double Trouble. I called because my husband and I noticed that Double Trouble has something very specific in common with an episode of a TV show that Jason was on. In the season 3 episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine called Terry Kitties, it has a plot involving a famously strong man, Terry Crews in this case, being given a kitten by other detectives to taunt him for not stopping a crime involving a cat burglar. So Jason was in that episode, but not in that particular subplot. So my question, I guess, is, was Brooklyn Nine-Nine inspired by Double Trouble? Thanks. You guys are great. Bye-bye.
Liz, everything stems from Double Trouble. I think Jason would agree. And I also think the creators of Brooklyn Nine-Nine would go, yes, you caught us. We stole from Double Trouble. So thank you, eagle-eyed Liz from Denver. What's up, Luke from Indiana?
Hello, boys. Just calling. You guys probably already know this, but the Barbarian Brothers scene in Natural Born Killers is in the screenplay written by Quentin Tarantino. He name-checks them, sort of. And that and the Dennis Leary scene that was cut out and the Ashley Judd scene that was cut out are all in the screenplay. And Oliver Stone cut all that out and then put a bunch of Native American stuff in it that Tarantino did not write. And he hated that movie, so I'd like to think it's because the Barbarian Brothers were cut from it. Also, if you guys haven't read it, 8 Billion Genies, great comic, read that. And since it is Paul Ask, next time you guys come to the Den in Chicago, please don't schedule for Mother's Day weekend because we had stuff going on, and I'd love to see you guys again. Bye-bye.
Right. Okay. Yes. I don't know if we talked about it explicitly, but you know what? Let's listen to that scene.
Simon and Norman Hunt, let me ask you a question. What do you think of Mickey and Mallory?
I admire them. So do I.
But how can you say that?
They're mesmerizing, hypnotizing. I Have you seen Pumping Iron?
Yes.
And you've seen the scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger is talking to Lou Ferrigno through the power of the simple word and a snake-eyed glare. In a snake-eyed glare, Arnold was able to totally psych out any confidence Ferrigno had, squashing him mentally before physically defeating him. He had the edge, the mind's edge. Mickey and Mallory have that edge, only on a much grander scale. They've hypnotized the nation.
Yet, you two are both victims of Mickey and Mallory.
Okay, at first I was like, oh, this is actually a pretty subdued performance, but then it becomes like one of those wrestling, what do they call them, promos, right? It does transcend acting and just becomes like listen up here, Woody Harrelson. No, yeah, I get it. I think maybe even seeing it probably is a little bit more intense. Forgot that Robert Downey Jr. did a British accent in that movie. All right, let's go to Rebecca from Denver. I love the people calling in for that were at the live show.
Hi, Paul and Jason. This is Rebecca. I was at the Denver show. Had a comment about Double Trouble. I read the Wikipedia entry about the Paul brothers. Got really distracted wondering if they ate 36 eggs each day or total. And so because I work in a library, because of course I do, I found the article that was cited in the Wikipedia entry. And it is wonderful. I am pretty sure the woman who wrote it she was in her 60s. It starts off with, the first paragraph. The bronzed young man with the bulging biceps toyed with the dainty helping of chili on his plate. His twin brother, whose deltoids and pectorals are awesome, nibbled a few deviled eggs. And I realized that the reason why the Wikipedia entry is unclear about whether they're eating 36 eggs each or 36 eggs total is because I think this woman could not tell the brothers apart, because there are numerous times in the article she'll quote what one of them says, and then she just says, the twins say, because she doesn't know if it's David talking or Paul talking. Peter and David explain, acting requires concentration and weightlifting is total concentration. Peter, or is it David, says. Yeah, it was a fun article. Thank you again for the night. Thank you for the podcast. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Holy crap. First of all, thank you for your service. And I'm saying that to all librarians. Thank you for your service. And that is hilarious. We're going to get further and further from the truth as things go on. I like the idea that they ate 36 eggs, but still don't understand. So are you saying, is your hypothesis that they together eat 36 eggs? Because even at that point, it's a lot of eggs. All right, back to the Discord. Fitzy47 writes, nobody mentioned in the episode that James Doohan's character was named Chief O'Brien, which is clearly a nod to Cole Meany's Star Trek Next Generation and Deep Space Nine character with the same name. Okay, first of all, Fitzy, I don't believe that is. I think this movie was way before Deep Space Nine. It had to be, right? Guess what? I'm not going to look it up. And by the way, as an engineer on a starship, he should have been named after me, Billups. That's right. I got to go to fan nights at Universal. It was fun. Walked around, grew a mustache. I didn't grow a mustache for that, but I had a mustache. I looked like Billups. Anyway, it was fun for me. Lizard Breath writes, during the show, the question was asked, what happened to David and Peter Paul? And being from Rhode Island myself, I needed to know more about them. Okay, so yes, I did have this question too. I want you to know I didn't bring it up in the show because it's a little dark, so everybody brace yourself. All right. Lizard Breath continues. Unfortunately, Peter had some mental struggles, which I won't go into because he deserves his privacy, and David moved back to Rhode Island, where he pursued art, photography, music, film directing, and interior design. He designed the interior of a Rhode Island ice cream parlor called Moose Trackers, and I went there, and honestly, it's beautiful. Unfortunately, around the time of the parlor opening, David passed away. I really think it was going to be his next career. He put a lot of care and effort into it, and it shows. Sorry, this is a long one, but I was truly touched learning more about the brothers, and I'm including a few photos I took of the parlor. Not wrong. Not wrong, Lizard Breath. This is a beautiful ice cream shop, and I'm glad to have a little bit of sunlight, and I think you respected Peter's mental struggles really well. All right, so there you go, people. A little history on the Paul brothers. So many great corrections and omissions this week, but there is only one winner, and I said it right in the top. There's no one that could beat it. It was a shock to me as I read it, but Heidi B. Vibrant Visionaries, you are the winner for revealing that these brothers had plastic surgery to look like each other. I am blown away, and you get nothing, but you get this amazing theme from Tyler Mann. Hit it, Tyler!
fuck. You win.
All right, if you want to chime in with your own thoughts about the latest episode, hit up the Discord at discord.gg/hdtgm or call us at 619-PAULASK. And once again, you can find our new song submission link at hdtgm.com or in the show notes of this very episode. Coming up after the break, Jason and I will chat with Kristen Schaal and Tony Hale. But first, take a listen to the bonus deleted scene from our Double Trouble show where we talk with an audience member about sibling relationships.
Craig, what do you got?
I have a question about the chemistry of these twins who we see like personally, I don't feel like they had much chemistry.
Okay.
I agree.
I think that on a scale of like a Kinsey scale, or if we're gonna go like with like a Bechdel test, the like Folgers like siblings commercial between like two people who are not related to each other having so much chemistry that it like leans into incest versus the Barbarian twins who are apparently sharing the same womb and have no chemistry. Where do we think that like, I think that should be proposed as like a new scale of chemistry when it comes to sibling relationships.
You're a scholar, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
The chemistry scale is only for people that are related to each other?
We have
chemistry. It's chemistry.
And representation of film. Representation matters.
Representation of incest?
Representation.
I'm sorry. Have we gone through the looking glass with incest? Are we just now all incest-pilled?
I'm talking about chemistry here.
Chemistry between brothers.
The chemistry of like sibling relationships in movies. Like there is like, oh wow, that's way too much. Like you look like you're fucking on screen right now versus these two who look like they've never met despite having come out of the same vagina within an hour of each other.
So it's like Cruel Intentions might be at the, or Folgers commercial at the top. Cruel Intentions probably closer, and then these guys at the bottom for you.
Agreed.
Here's what I will say. If you told me that it was the same actor playing both parts, I would say, yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, the other problem is they were so close. A lot of their scenes, for some reason, were very close to each other. But
they're so big, it's hard to frame them.
But that's true. But
I'm being honest. I wrote that multiple times. In this frame, they both can't fit.
Their chests too create some distance between each other.
So one has to be. They have to layer them. They've got to layer the barbarians.
I just also want to remind everybody that they weren't supposed to get along in this, and I think that they probably have an incredible relationship off screen.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they
had
do, Rory.
to get dinner one night and go, hey, when we start shooting, we got to cut this shit out. And we need to get a lot of our lines wrong. And we need to trip when we're not supposed to. And hold a gun like... Dude, we got to do that stuff. So lose all knowledge of everything and then shoot.
So you're proposing that they are method actors?
I think they're incredible method actors.
It's the Barbarian brothers. It's Jeremy Strong. It's
Daniel Day-Lewis.
It's DDL.
Welcome back. I know that every single week we re-release old How Did This Get Made episodes in the feed. This past week, we re-released Spider-Man 3 with Kulap Vilasak. Check it out. It's a fun episode. I love that one. Anyway, without any further ado, Jason and I are going to chat with Kristen Schaal and Tony Hale. Kristen was last on our pod for the classic Howard the Duck episode, but today her and Tony are here to talk about their brand new podcast, The Extraordinarians. They share this podcast with Matt Oberg, another immensely talented, funny guy who you might recognize as the guy from the commercials with Sam Jackson. I think it's Capital One. This guy is fantastic and actually working with June right now in the Legally Blonde prequel show. Their show is fantastic. I can't wait to hear what they're up to because I am obsessed with Guinness World Book Records. I am obsessed with the record holders, why they're doing it, how they're doing it. So without any further ado, let's bring them in with a song from Rob from Long Island.
Now it's the time of the show. It's the time of the show. Which time is that? It's the time when Jason joins Paul and they JUSTCHAT just chat.
Welcome to the show, you two. This has been, I'm excited. I'm excited that you have a podcast together with Matt Oberg, another a great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Wow.
So
it seems
funny.
like, I mean, it sounds like you guys were hesitating just a little bit. I didn't know,
great guy.
Yeah.
I've never heard him described that way. So I
wow. Okay.
Guy? Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Great guy? Is he a guy?
Sure, yeah.
Is he a great guy?
What is right?
Like we said already, your show is called The Extraordinarians. You're interviewing Guinness World Record holders. I want to just know how this idea came up for you all, because this is something that I reference a lot. I just love that there's a book out there, and my kids have recently got into the Guinness World Record book, and I just feel like,
wow.
Have this been something that you've been fascinated by since you were kids, or what?
Surprisingly, that great guy came up with it.
Oh, wow. So I shouldn't even be talking. Wow, this is...
Surprisingly is the key.
He was reading that book to his eldest, and then he was like, this would be a great podcast. And he told us about it. And we said, you did it again, great guy.
Another great idea from a great guy.
It's not even Guinness. We interview people who just do kind of extraordinary things, whether they break a record or not. But like we've had some really, look, one guy slacklined between two hot air balloons.
What?
And and just like,
I mean, that was a Guinness record, Tony.
that was a Guinness record, yeah. And then there was actually a lot of more. We haven't really done Guinness records yet.
What do we know?
This show is not underwritten by Big Guinness, is it?
No, we want to. It's
but
not.
you are
Steer
sponsored by
clear,
Guinness the beer, which is confusing for the audience, I think.
We have to smash a Guinness before every podcast and during.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys feel, I mean, I will say this, and it's another thing I say often, but you guys feel full during the show. Like when you really feel like you feel weighed down.
I listen to it, and there's a lot. I mean, you guys do talk about the records and stuff, but you spend a lot of time talking about that's a really nice head on that Guinness. That's beautiful.
That's true.
I'm always thinking about the head.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing about your house is that you have Guinness on tap there, and you really perfect that head.
I lick that head up. There was are we allowed to go on tangents?
Oh, please, yes.
I'm sorry, please, Kristen, please stay on topic.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is, by the way, the most on topic.
Stay on topic.
This is the most on topic we've ever been.
This is a podcast. We don't just have a chat. This is not loose.
I'll stay on. I'll stay on my point.
Stay on
Great
target.
eye, good head.
Please, Schaal, go ahead.
Have you ever been to the Hearst Castle?
Yeah.
I was taking a tour once, and William Randolph Hearst hated when people got drunk at parties, so he locked all the hard alcohol away in this beautiful cabinet, and everyone would get one cocktail at dinner, and that's it. And I just loved that detail. And then they take you through the kitchen where he had beer on tap all day and night. So people would be, but
because beer doesn't make you drunk in his mind. It's just hard liquor.
It's like Gatorade back then. It's like cleaner than water. They're going to need it to play tennis.
Yeah, because back then you couldn't drink water. Water was like not drinkable.
Yeah, and now we're going back to that. It's like full circle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, we're going back to it. Now all of our water is coming from Flint and is flammable.
Yeah, all of our water's been lit on fire in January, and we're okay.
But
sorry.
I do have a question about this, and this
so
has
many
been
tangents.
A straw poll that I've been taking. When you were kids, was water a part of your let me go get a glass of water? Because for me, that was never part of the story. It was never like water was.
No, it was Capri Suns.
Yes, 100%. Capri Suns, orange juice, even sometimes milk. Honestly, it was anything.
Milk.
If we were lucky, we had those little plastic jugs that had like a fruit punch in it that in my area were called teenies. I think teenies.
They were called grenades where I was from.
Oh, because they were shaped like little grenades or barrels, maybe. Yours
barrels,
were like barrels. Ours didn't look like barrels, but I've seen that. Ours were called teenies, and they looked like little like squares or little squat things. That was a big thing. We would rather drink rancid milk than water when I was growing up. Like
a lot of soda too.
Lot of soda.
Yeah.
There was a time when I was living in New York, starting off doing UCB, that after a show, my friend and I would go back to my apartment and just both get like a 2-liter bottle of Coke and just be drinking that and playing video games like late night. Just
what a life.
Dreamcast and 2 liters of Coke. It was like,
but this is also
terrible.
pre bottled water. Like we
yes,
grew up
right,
with
true.
bottled
Yeah,
water.
there was nothing else to get at the deli. You just get that.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever tried to attempt to break a record? Do you have respect for these people that are breaking records? Because I feel like you will say, well, that's dumb. I could do that. And then when you even try to attempt anything like it, it seemingly is absolutely impossible. I think that's the thing.
Every time we talk to these people, I remember like one of the people was they won. This was actually maybe not a Guinness record, Chris. I might be wrong. But the wonderful girl who won the pun competition, and she's like 21 or something like that. But you can see ever since a young age, she would have this grid in her head where like she would see different words and just trying to find these puns. And now she's a songwriter. And then there was a guy who stuck toothpicks in his beard and how many toothpicks he could stick in his beard.
Wait, how many did he get?
I think it was like
I'm curious. I feel maybe I could beat this.
I think, Jason, this is not a time for competition for you.
Come on, Tony.
Let these people have their moment.
Jason on your show.
But it's like you see the passion and the drive and the dedication. You know, it's like this one kid, the record was 8 somersaults in the air out of a trampoline, and he's like, we're getting 9. And all the like the science behind the bounce and the trampoline's actually in the ground, and like it's just like such focus for these people. And you always go away from it being like, well, I'm not doing anything with my life.
Well, that's the thing. It's like even that idea, like, this is a lot of toothpicks I got in my beard. Let me go for it. Let me go for the record. And then you have to figure out, is there a record? Like, and that, I'm also furious. I'm not furious. I am curious about what makes a Guinness World Book record and just a record. I mean, are there...
Are Guinness's records proprietary? What does that mean? Like, is it kind of like if you write a sketch at SNL, it belongs to SNL? If you get a record through Guinness, do they own your record?
Great question.
That's a really good question,
I pride myself in my
Jason.
questions.
Okay, again, we don't need to. This is not a time to promote yourself, Jason.
I mean, what are we doing here? I think that Guinness just has a famous book, and they have like a whole team behind it, so they can go and verify it. They have the money, so you could set a record. And they're like, well, did it beat the one in Guinness? And also, all these people are creating records to go into Guinness. Like they're making them up. Like one guy like blew balloons. In 90 seconds, he blew up the most balloons. And then he like told Guinness he did it. And they're like, okay, well, here's the parameters. We'll put it in our book, but you need to record it. You need this and that and all this shit.
This is the same guy. I want to say like he did like a 24-hour thing, didn't he, Kristen? And he had, I think he blew
that's
up,
his dream, babe. That
was his dream. That's right. Yeah. So like in certain tournament time, he did like 1,000 balloons or something, and he did it in this ballroom. And there was a wedding going on next door, and the bride came in and said, "Can we have these for our wedding?" He's like, "Sure." So he like made their day and like brought all of his balloons over.
Wow.
I like that.
That's cool.
I think what I like about interviewing these people too is I like being around people who create stuff like you guys, like you're writing books and movies and making podcasts and comedy shows all the time. And there's just that drive that's like, I need to do the thing and I'm going to do it. And it's something that in our world is specific to these projects. So it's fun to see this quality in other human endeavors that are still...
It's fun to see it applied to something else. Because it's one thing to just be like, hey, I can fit a bunch of toothpicks in my beard or whatever it was. But it's another thing to be like, I should be recognized for this.
Well, and I also
ambitious. That's what I love, the ambition.
Yes. And they're having a great time. This one guy who like set records of the hottest sauce. He didn't just eat things with sauce on it. He like drank the sauce.
Oh God.
Yeah. And he like his wife like they're in it together. But after he's finished, he's like lying on the concrete floor in his bathroom just to soothe his body and his stomach. And then he gets past it. But it's such a drive in him. Oof. And he has all these awards. He has like merch. Wow. Like, it's just like, he just loves it. He's creating a sauce.
It's that thing you're talking about, that drive to pursue, to give yourself a challenge or a goal and to pursue it, even if it doesn't make sense or even at personal harm. Like, I feel like but what you're talking about is what's so interesting about those people. And I feel like the example I can think of is the King of Kong. The documentary, The
yeah.
King of Kong. Because, like, what could be more low stakes than beating the arcade game version of Donkey Kong? But yet those are some of the most Steve Wiebe and Billy Mitchell. I remember these names. These are these characters, these people, these real people became such characters in their pursuit of greatness, you know, on such a ephemeral thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about, I also just like pushing your comfort too. All these people are doing something that, you know, it's like, it's just over and over again, like you're saying, like practice, like it's not comfortable. It's not easy. I think we're in a time right now where everybody thinks things are easy and they're keeping their lives as like, just, I don't know, like nobody's like putting themselves out there as much in a way, like they're not tending the fields like they used to.
Well, I think when I think like when I used to get that Guinness book, it was amazing. You could sit down with it and you'd look at it and you'd be like, whoa, these guys are motorcycle twins. Look at these fingernails, right? They're like images that are ingrained in my memory. But now on Instagram or whatever you see, or TikTok, you're watching people do crazy stuff. So I also feel like it's, like, how do you find that niche? How do you get that inspiration? You know, it's like you have to really kind of figure it out. But I would also imagine, because of all those things, you will allow a lot more people to get into the world-breaking record game because they can just get it out there. They can get it up right away.
It also sounds like people are creating their own categories. You know, to create, like, not just breaking a record that exists, but creating a record that doesn't. That's interesting.
Well, how about this? We have a little bit of a game here called World Record Over and Under. I'm going to give you a world record, and you have to guess if this record is over or under that number. So this is a good one right here. All right, the most canned drinks opened by a parrot in 1 minute. Is it over or under 30? The most canned drinks opened by a parrot.
Now, here's a question.
Yeah.
I'm going to, while Tony and Kristen think about it, my question is, was this one of the parrots that you grew up with?
Yes, I did grow up with parrots. They did not open. My parrots never opened cans.
Okay.
They would imitate Pee Wee Herman, and they would eat the wood off the wall.
Okay.
So we had to put Tabasco sauce on that.
Because they liked it spicy?
Yeah.
Can we put a pin in that conversation about you growing up with parrots?
I have so many
Oh,
questions.
I'm so sorry, guys. Did you
into
not
that.
want to just breeze right past this gem?
I'm sorry. How many parrots are we talking about that you grew up with?
We had two. We had two big parrots, and then when we first started, two big parrots, and then a budgie, and then 2 or 3 other birds. So it was a room of birds.
Now,
A room of birds.
So a zoo.
A small zoo.
So an aviary.
So would you ever, having had that experience, would you ever have a bird as an adult?
Never.
Thank you.
Never.
Ruby's campaigning for a parrot like you wouldn't believe for 3 years. She will not stop it.
Did she have some exposure to a parrot or something? Or is it
in love with birds? We finally
Okay.
convinced her that if she can like get a wild raven to be her friend, that's her bird.
Well, here's what I'll say. And for those people who own birds, God bless. I lived my life with them for a very long time. They're loud. They're very loud. Even, and they should be. Like, they are birds. They are reacting. And especially if you put them out of the window, you're seeing cars. They're seeing things happen. They're going to talk. They're going to yell. They're going to wake you up at all hours of the night. It's an intense.
Which parent was the bird person?
So my mom married a gentleman who came with birds. So we weren't. I was not a part of the bird.
These were step
birds. Yeah, I was married into the birds, and then the birds. So the birds kind of came in for me as a freshman in high school.
Wow.
And stayed until probably. They stayed all the way till my mom finally gave one away when she moved out here to Los Angeles, which was the right move.
So she still has a couple with her?
Well,
in Los Angeles?
one was left, one was accidentally killed. There's
by Mr. Scheer?
No, not by me. Okay. It was a venting issue in our house with a stove. They were above the stoves.
Foul play, Tony.
I'm hearing
foul play.
But none of this should distract you from trying to figure out how many canned drinks were opened by a parrot in 1 minute. Zach the Macaw. Yeah, there he is.
Oh, wow. I would say over. I think.
All right, over. You say over 30 cans.
Over too.
I'm going to say over as well. And the reason is because I would expect a parrot that shops at 365 Whole Foods to be able to do more than 30.
Yes, the picture does have him at the 365 Whole Foods. So, yes, the answer is over 35 as the number that he did. 35 can drinks in 1 minute. 1 minute. I do have.
I mean, like, he'd be a great bar back. You know,
Well, really
just opening cans for everybody.
Oh, everybody would be so pleased.
By the way, I mean, now I'm not positive, but did the Hearst, he used to have one too. William Randolph Hearst used to have a parrot at the castle.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, when you see this picture, does it genuinely trigger something in you?
You know, I'm so, like, I have a relief. Like, I love to see kids studying for tests or freaking out about papers because it's like, I don't have to do that. So seeing this bird nowhere near me is like, it's a relief. I don't have this in my life anymore.
Good.
Like, it shows me I have a pride or a satisfaction, I should say.
I got it.
Tony, you have to read Paul's book.
It's now out in paperback as by this recording it will be, and it has 20 extra pages in it.
If you think discovering that Paul grew up in a house full of birds was shockingly new information, Tony, buckle up. The book is one revelation after another.
Parrots aren't even in the book. Parrot didn't even make the book.
They're not in the book?
Parrots didn't even make the book.
Was that to spite them? You're like, you're not going to make the book.
I've forgotten a lot of these stories. That's the problem. Is like I only had enough. I filled it up, and then I was like, they remember all these other things.
I have it by my bed.
Oh yeah, I love it.
But Tony, you love trauma, and this is like you are going to be like,
trauma.
Tony, you love trauma. Speak on that. Speak on that, will you?
You love this.
Yep.
I will ask one other, because we're going to keep the animal track going here, because I think this is interesting. What the record for the most basketball slams in 1 minute by a rabbit? Is it over or under 18 slam dunks?
I hope we have footage of this because
we do have a video of this. This is Benny the Bunny. Benny the Bunny, how many slam dunks did Benny the Bunny do? Is it over or under 18?
I'm going to say over.
I'm going to say under.
Yeah, me too. They don't have hands like.
Yeah, well, that's the tricky one. Let's see the video and let's count it off. Here we go.
My name is Shai. We are in LA right now.
Okay, pause. I'm going to need you to pause. I'm going to need you to pause. Okay. What are we up to here? But see, now normally it should just cut in on the rabbit,
right?
But we get real owner time. We get Shai the owner. Now this is who the video is. This is who the record is for.
Yes,
you guys got to talk to Shai.
He's
go ahead.
he's wearing a very tight
very
t-shirt.
tight.
He
very
would like
tight.
to showcase his body before we get to know the
Here's
rabbit.
the thing, though. He's jacked. He looks great.
I'm not mad about what he's wearing.
Yeah,
Tony. Don't be so jealous just because he's jacked.
This dad bod is pissed.
He does look like he's wearing a Superman shirt because he's so ripped, and it's like you put an S on there, you'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
Shai. S for Shai. Scott, do we have are we up to the video? We don't have to watch more interviews with Shai.
We are in LA right now.
Oh, they're in LA.
Benny the Bunny.
Go visit him.
Guinness World Record started is most slam dunks by a rabbit in a minute.
Okay, here we go.
And he got 7.
Boom!
It was
7.
very easy to achieve this record because Benny likes to play basketball every night before he goes to sleep.
That's nice.
One day I caught Benny playing with a ball and a box. And I decided to develop his talent, and I bought him a little hoop and a little basketball.
And a little outfit.
Guys, get this guy on your show. 7 basketball. You were right.
Wow.
Under there. 7 slam dunks.
That was so endearing.
It's very cute. Benny the Bunny is, I will say, incredibly cute.
Yeah, but the basketball height's not standard. I
agree. Thank you, Tony. And that's like, they're not really basketball slam dunks. They really just seem like putbacks.
Wow, you guys are brutal. You guys, wow.
This is why the show works.
I'm wondering, as you guys are doing this show and meeting these people and talking to these people, this is my pitch. Are you formulating a plan to create a record for yourselves? Is part of the show going to be eventually you're basically data gathering the types of things that maybe you could get to. And then at some point, I think you're going to have to stage a record breaking event.
This is really smart stuff, Jason. This
I mean,
is
we want to see you out on the road. We want to see.
This is 16 years in the podcast.
Listen,
biz, baby.
are you a producer?
So new. We're so green.
We are green. We have talked. I feel like
Yeah.
initially they talked about it with headgum, and we were all like, maybe one day.
I mean, look, if you can start having people break records, if you can get people to break records on your show, I mean, this is amazing. Maybe the longest podcast episode you'll ever do. Maybe you do that. You podcast for who knows how long the longest podcast.
I mean, record-breaking podcast breaks a record.
Wow.
Whoa. I mean, like that's a fucking headline right
That's
there.
a log
That's
line.
really good.
Your Headgum podcast, The Extraordinarians, every week. I would imagine that's how you
Yeah, I
release
think
it, right?
we
Every
have
week.
2 episodes out now, which is funny that you're right. Like we should be really thinking bigger picture.
Eventually,
Yeah.
you're just 2 episodes in.
Yeah,
That's where
we're
you're
babies.
How did this get made shows have you guys done?
We were just kind of figuring that out. We're up in the 300s.
Gosh,
That's
15 years.
decent. That's
You know.
15
years and only 300 to show for it.
But
Yes.
now you also are doing a video podcast. You can watch it on YouTube as well.
Yeah, watch it on the
So
U's.
369 movies is what we've done here on the show. So, but what I love about this is you can watch your episodes. You can listen or you can watch.
Yeah, you can look at our faces.
Just as podcasts are meant to be.
Yeah.
Videos.
We also
I
do.
did not realize this was all encompassing.
We also do something where like people can call in and say like, I'm going to nominate my friend for like the best this or the worst this, and so like one girl nominated her brother for like he makes the best eggs, and then we called him up and said your sister just nominated, and supposedly he's been around the world and find eggs and all, but then somebody else got like the worst joke teller, so then we called them up and be like, hey, just to let you know your friend said you're like the worst joke teller.
Oh, wow.
And then we like let them do all that kind of stuff, so it gives people an opportunity just to nominate their friends.
I love this. Well, I cannot wait for more episodes. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen, subscribe, do all the things that you do with podcasts in your podcast apps. You two are the best. I'm excited that I love this trio, by the way, of you two and then really nice guy, Matt
and
Ober.
that great guy.
Who's currently with our great gal, June Diane in Vancouver.
And
Shooting
doing
the Legally Blonde series.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Paul, how long is June up there?
She's up there until July, so it's been an interesting time for our family. And
Doesn't get to come home.
she does get to come home. She comes home when she can, and and then I have the kids just pretend they don't recognize her, which doesn't go over well. And then we've been making a good. She's been coming home a bunch.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to visit her in Vancouver, though, with the family, there's so many great spots you guys can go to, like a salmon fishery thing.
Ooh, I made the worst mistake when we first had our first child. I got a job and I was away, and it was just for like a week or so. It wasn't a big job, but I was away, and June was a new parent with a baby. And I was in Vancouver and I went ziplining, and I was like, look at me, I'm on the zip line to June. And I realized that was a mistake. I should never, whenever you are away doing something fun and your partner is at home with children, you never send them anything fun that you have done. You don't tell them about a movie.
Ziplining is particularly carefree.
It was so carefree. I was like, I have nothing to do with my day. I'm going to zip line. June was not happy with a picture of me on a zip line as she's at home with a 3-month-old. So, I've learned the hard way. So now if we go together, it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, I wonder what the record is for longest zip line.
Yeah, I wonder that too.
I did the one in Hawaii where you go over the Jurassic Park fields, and it's really fun.
Oh, that's cool.
When I'm away at work, Paul, I just call Rich and I just bitch and bitch and bitch how awful it is.
I'm like, June's like, what are you up to? I'm like, nothing. I mean, there's nothing to do. I'm just in my room. I'm not eating dinner. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm never going to see a movie.
I'm crying so much.
Now June insists on tracking me. June is obsessed with keeping the tracker on phone, so she knows like what's going on. Like,
my God.
The other day I was coming home and I had to give notes on something, so I just pulled off to the side of the road to give notes because I knew that if I came home and I just got on my phone, it wouldn't be good. So I was like, I'll just pull over here. I'll do my notes. and then I'll go home and I can be fully present. And she was like, "What are you doing parked on the street out there?" I'm like, "God damn it!" So now I don't even feel like I have that.
Just like watching you like it's a show on Netflix.
She knows where I am at all times. Like, you don't even need to keep dibs on me, but she does it to all of her friends. She has multiple friends that she's tracking at any given moment. By the way, if you are wondering, the longest zip line is about 9,000 feet.
And it's in United Arab Emirates.
Great. Let's go. Let's go.
Can women go on that zip line or only men?
Because it's in UAE?
Yeah.
Yeah, good question.
We got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Maybe we can break the Guinness World Record of the first woman to do that zip line.
Yeah, that'd be great.
As the first flying vagina to go 9,290 feet.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you two are the best. Thank you for being here and chatting with us.
Congratulations on your longevity with your podcast. You're an inspiration to us.
May you have the same 15 years that we've had.
I'll be dead.
You're so brave not eating eggs.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging my bravery.
I found someone else who's allergic to eggs.
Who?
Reese Darby's wife, Rose.
Okay.
Yeah, I went over to her house and she's like, any non-egg based dish, please. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, nice. I love it. I love meeting one in the wild.
My sons were watching Jason on Taskmaster and they turned to me in shock and horror when they said, "What if they make him eat eggs?" I'm sure that he has told them that they cannot have any eggs, but they felt like this is what they're going to do. They're going to make Jason
That's how they're going to get him.
Yeah, they're going to make him eat eggs. It's like, there's especially after the first episode, there's like a raisin challenge, and they're like, what if it was eggs? It's like, it's not going to be eggs.
Jason, what was that movie you were doing in Vancouver when I saw you at the Sutton? At an elevator?
That I was in the hospital?
Yes.
It was a pilot that never got picked up. To series. So it was a pilot that I did for FX years ago.
Yeah.
And I was hospitalized twice.
Yes.
Oh, I remember this.
It was
brutal.
Awful.
For
Brutal.
what? For why?
Eggs.
I had it wasn't eggs. I thought it was eggs at first, and it turned out to not be. It was something in my I was like I could not hold even water down. And I truly was only hospitalized because I needed to be on an IV, and they were just making sure something more catastrophic wasn't wrong. So it's not as dramatic as it sounds, but nonetheless, I was in a Canadian hospital twice, which was not great.
You weren't allergic to the zip lines though, right?
You know what I'm allergic to? Canada.
There we go.
June had a haunted hotel room, but we've gotten that figured out now. I don't know if you guys had any issues with that when you were in Canada.
What was happening in your
Schaal just lit up.
June's room was haunted, and she was getting the lights flickering in the middle of the night. Doors opening. A lot of crazy stuff, but she would turn off lights, walk into the other room, and then the lights would turn back on. Doors were closed and then they would be open. So there was a lot of spooky stuff, and she did talk to somebody, and they said that there were some blobs, some dark blobs.
Two blobs and a gateway to hell.
Yes.
2 blobs and a gateway to hell were in her room.
Which, Jason, I'm gonna break that down for you because I've saved that document for you so we can really see it when we go on tour.
Wait, 2 blob. What is the gate? What do you mean the gateway of hell?
It's like a portal.
Yeah, Tony. What do you mean?
No. I mean, did she see a sign that said that? Or
No. This is the person that was brought in to help cleanse the room. Saw a portal.
I'm sorry, June's room was diagnosed as having 2 blobs and a gateway to hell.
Yes.
Did she change rooms or hotel?
No. Did not change rooms. Well, can I tell you what they told June was that what they thought was that the studio is so haunted and that she was bringing people back from the studio.
She was bringing ghosts back from the studio.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to job security. Do you kind of wonder if this guy's saying this, just to like validate his paycheck?
I had a lot of issues with some of the things that were discussed there. And then as the ghosts were shedding, I was like, well, don't shed them here at our home. I don't need these ghosts shedded
don't
here.
Don't bring them on the plane.
Yeah, I don't.
Guess what I don't want? A bunch of fucking Canadian ghosts in my house.
They're so polite.
Get the fuck out of here.
They actually closed doors because you left them open.
And now because of the tariffs, we're getting like 35% more ghosts.
But they're doing 100% more haunting. I don't understand why. Oh my gosh. Well,
thanks,
you all,
guys.
are the best. Anything else you want to plug besides your podcast?
I have something
please.
There's a movie that my buddy Seth Worley and I did that's coming out August 6th called Sketch.
Ooh.
And it took us 7 years to make.
Whoa.
And
Not long enough.
Not long enough. It took us 15 years to make. But I think it's really good.
What is it about?
It's about a little girl who's is dealing with grief, and she draws these really horrible pictures, and they come to life.
Whoa!
And it's so great, guys, and I'm excited for people to see it. So it's going to be in theaters.
It's you and Darcy. Darcy Carden's in it as well,
Darcy
right?
plays my sister. Yeah.
Oh wow, this is a great, and the reviews here are amazing. This looks
of good
great.
feedback.
What's it called again, Tony?
It's called Sketch, August 6th in theaters.
And are you still casting any of the roles? I'd love to. I'd love to put myself on tape.
So weird. We're already in the can, man. But
picture locked.
We're already picture locked.
Yeah, but you could see if you could just get Jason to do some of the voiceover or something.
I'd love to. Can I ADR someone?
Okay, like a log line for the promotion.
Whatever.
Of it,
if Darcy Carden can't make an ADR session, I'll just drop a line in.
Yeah, just get him in there. Tony,
you are
do
multi-talented, Jason.
It's only May. It's coming out. You said in August.
I'd love to be a part of this project. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's plenty of time. Plenty of time to get in there.
You just do the song. You're like sketch.
Yeah, here we go. Sketch. Getting ready for the sketch.
I like this. Can you get Seth on the phone after this meeting and just
speed dial?
Tony, I also saw that Toy Story. You posted something from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Forky's coming back, and Kristen Schaal is going to be.
What?
I am.
Yep.
I am.
We're both in it.
Is very exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am thrilled. I cannot wait. I've only been cut from a Pixar movie. I was so excited. I was like, "There's no way you can cut Incredibles 2."
Is that in your book?
I'm sorry.
I should have been. It was such a fun experience. They cut the whole scene. I think they thought it was too rough. I was a cop yelling at kids. And so they were like, I don't know if we need that moment. And it was released as a part of the special features, me yelling at children.
Oh, that's cool.
It was fun. Cool. It was fun to see and do, and it was great to work with Bradford.
So it got animated and all. It got all the way through.
It got mostly animated, but it was that was one of the most fun experiences ever. Just so cool.
Tony, you said it took you 7 years to make this movie.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, 7 years.
Do you know if that is a world record?
Good callback.
I love this.
Maybe. I'm going to look into it.
Find out.
That's a segue. Outro the show, Paul. Go.
Listen to The Extraordinarians. Watch The Extraordinarians. Go see Sketch. Watch Bob's Burgers. Watch Percy Jackson. Read my book. People, we got so many things for you to do. Get into it.
Oh, and watch Taskmaster season 19.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All right, everybody. We will see you soon. Thanks for being here.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, Kristen and Tony. Now it is finally time to announce our next movie. Next week, we are going from Big Tan Men to Little Green Men. That's right. Next week, we are watching the 1996 alien invasion movie, The Arrival, starring Charlie Sheen, Lindsay Krause, and Richard Schiff. Here is a breakdown of the plot. Charlie Sheen discovers intelligent alien life. Case closed. That's all you need to know. Rotten Tomatoes rates this film a 66. That's a fresh on the tomato meter. And Roger Ebert from the Chicago Sun-Times said this movie is as smart as Mission Impossible is dumb. Drop the mic, Roger Ebert. That is a good old-fashioned slam. Listen to the trailer.
What if you made a discovery this amazing?
I come to you with the possibility of extrasolar life.
And no one would listen.
Why are you telling them lies about me?
What if you knew a secret this powerful?
Something's going on here.
And no one believed you.
They're not here now. They will be soon. Who they?
This summer, the truth.
I know why they're here. You don't know the half of it.
Can kill you. The Arrival, rated PG-13, starts May 31st at theaters everywhere.
You can stream The Arrival on Hoopla, Pluto TV, Plex, and the CW app, or rent it on Apple TV or in the Microsoft Store. In addition to Hoopla, I also encourage you to check out Canopy and Libby, which are digital media services offered by your local public library that allow you to consume movies, TV, music, audiobooks, ebooks, and comics for free. All right, people, that's it for Last Looks. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate and review us. Please make sure you also are following us and have automatic downloads turned on. It helps the show, and we appreciate it. Visit us on social media at HDTGM, and a big thank you to our producers, Scott Sani and Molly Reynolds, our movie-picking producer, Avril Halley, our engineer, Casey Holford, and Jess Cisneros, who makes all of our social videos. We'll see you next week for The Arrival.